Hello, today I want to talk a little bit about the cost plus fixed fee contract. I know I'm jumping way ahead, but I think that this is an area that I would like to explain at this point in time since I have my whiteboard and my markers out. So the cost plus fixed fee contract is something that confuses a lot of people. In one of the documentaries that was made on Iraq, there was something titled War Profiteers or something of that sort, and I haven't seen it, but I think it took issue with the idea of cost plus fixed fee contracts because a lot of people don't understand it. It sounds like a cost plus percentage of cost. So the crux of it is in a cost reimbursement contract, you get reimbursed for your actual cost. So say that I was under contract to bake some cookies or something of that sort, I would, if it were cost reimbursement, I would be able to go to the store and pick whatever flour and butter and cream and sugar and chocolate and all of those things that I wanted to. And as long as I submitted my receipts, I would be reimbursed for those costs. And then, of course, my time and probably some reasonable profit, because cost doesn't take profit into account. So in a cost reimbursement contract, that's essentially what you're talking about. The difference between the cost plus fixed fee and the cost plus percentage of cost contract lies heavily in the area of profit. So in the cost plus fixed fee, the profit or fee is fixed at the beginning of the contract. And in a cost plus percentage of cost, the profit or fee is not fixed, and it tracks cost. So essentially, if it was a cost reimbursement plus percentage of cost, again using my cookie example, say that I had said, okay, I'd love to bake some cookies for you, and I want to do it as a cost plus a percentage of cost. So you'll pay me exactly what it costs me to bake those cookies, including my time and all the materials and the cost of the electricity in the oven and all of that kind of stuff. But I also want 5% as profit of whatever my costs are. So hopefully you can see right away why this would be an issue, because what would I then be incentivized to do? I would be incentivized to drive up my costs obscenely high, because I would know that I was getting 5% of whatever my costs were as profit. Now, this is what a lot of people think a cost plus fixed fee contract is, but it actually is quite a bit different. So I have a little graph here and some markers to kind of try and illustrate this. So this is my whiteboard, and we're tracking money. So this axis is money over time, and so this axis is time. And I started out by drawing in this dotted green line. When you have a cost reimbursement contract, you don't know what your actual costs are going to be ahead of time, because you haven't actually gone to the store to buy the cookie ingredients or whatever the case may be. So say that, again, using the chocolate chip cookie example, I were here and I was saying to myself, well, I think flour is about $1 for 5 pounds, and I think chocolate is like $3 for a nice quality bag of chocolate chips, etc. But I don't know for sure. So this is what I've done, is I've essentially estimated my costs. So this dotted green line is going to represent our estimated costs. And then because I don't have a very large whiteboard, I wanted to illustrate this way. In a fixed fee contract, the fee is calculated as a percentage of the estimated cost. So here I have my estimated cost, and let's say that I'm going to charge 5%, which is not necessarily an unreasonable fee in today's situation. So this area is going to represent 5%. Isn't a very dark marker, so let me try something darker. It's going to represent essentially 5% of the estimated cost. And this is our fixed fee. So now we have a fixed fee here, and we have an estimated cost. So at this line on our money axis, this is going to be our total contract ceiling. It's going to be whatever our costs are, estimated costs, plus our fixed fee. And again, the fixed fee is based upon the estimated cost. Well, as we know, actual costs are fairly different. So let's say that, I go to the store and I discover that ingredients are much more expensive than I had anticipated. So maybe my actual costs are up here, and then maybe they go down. And so over the performance of the contract, the actual costs are going to fluctuate. Now, in a cost reimbursement contract, the contractor is only going to get their actual costs, the actual costs that they can substantiate and justify. And there's some controls on that, which I'll do another little snippet on later. But so the contractor is going to get reimbursed this purple area. So everything here they'll get reimbursed for because these are their actual costs. And then you'll note the fee is still fixed. The fee is not going to, shoot off as a percentage of this, because if it was a percentage of this, the fee would be higher, and then it would shoot down, and then it would go up higher, and then it would shoot down again, because it's a percentage of these actual costs. But the fee is in fact fixed. So if the fee were following this line, it would be this exact, let's measure its amount, and I could go like this, and this would be the fixed fee. So you note that under any circumstance, the contractor is not getting paid this money. But they are getting paid the whole purple area and the whole red area. So looking at this chart, hopefully you can kind of start to understand what a contractor is incentivized to do in a cost plus fixed fee situation. Clearly, at the beginning of the contract, they want to estimate their costs as high as possible, because by estimating their costs high, then they're going to have a larger fixed fee, because the fixed fee is calculated off of the estimated, this dotted green line, estimated costs. And then actually once the contract is awarded, the contractor is actually going to be incentivized to lower their costs, theoretically, because when they lower their costs, you notice that the fixed fee, this line right here, get my blue marker back out actually, this fixed fee, which is this line right here between the total cost ceiling and the fee, when it comes down here, when we actually bring that down here, we'll see that the fixed fee, which is fixed as a percentage of cost, goes up. And so by driving the costs down, they do in fact get a larger profit margin. Of course, profit is a very slippery concept, and I'll have to do another snippet on that later, because a lot of people don't understand profit versus cost. So hopefully I'll be able to do something to clarify that later. But hopefully you can see here, again in this now extremely messy looking graph, that the cost plus fixed fee contract is in fact not a cost plus a percentage of cost. The fee is in fact fixed, and contractors again are motivated generally to keep their costs, their actual costs, relatively low in proportion to the fixed fee pool. Because note that up here, when their costs are actually above the estimated cost, what's happening to their profit margin? It's actually gone down because the pool of fee is fixed. So there's a little snippet about cost reimbursement contracts for you. Hopefully it's made it a little bit more clear, and you've now learned something about one of the government's most complicated contractual vehicles out there.